My name is Spataro. I'm 18 years old and I'm a photographer and a designer.
You creep under my skin, under my bones.
I shoot a lot of landscapes, streetscapes, portraits, pretty much anything. I think what I mainly look for in a photo, other than aesthetic things like composition and texture and color and whatnot, are just something that portrays a feeling. I think that's the most important thing when making a photo. Yeah, I'd rather capture things that make people feel happy and that give you like a sort of sense of nostalgic, like happiness, optimism. I've been taking a lot of photos on my phone as of late, but for like a long time, this wasn't the case at all. It was just like, I'd actually like really strayed away from taking an image seriously that was taken on my phone. And then I guess I hit a point like not too long ago where I was focused more just on making good photos and just practicing rather than, the technicalities of it. That's where sort of that kind of comes from, using the iPhone just to make photos in a sense where those technicalities that so many photographers like really dwell on just don't matter at all.
Maybe a prism finder. I don't like shooting from the hip. It's just too low a perspective. Where we need to be. The shadow of the scroll.
So sweet.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
iPhone shot.
Yeah, I tried this a million times. Oh no.
I think that living and growing up in Pittsburgh has definitely had an influence on my photos. I think it's there's a lot of space out there as compared to here in New York. In a way that added like a minimalism to my work. And then also with things just moving so slowly out there, kind of corresponded with the way that I was making photos while I was there. And I think that's kind of what led to like me having such an interest in the like aesthetic side of photography rather than like the documentary side, I guess. I think I was kind of trying to just like replicate the look of medium format and large format film with my iPhone. Which I'm not quite sure why, but I thought it could be done easier than say on a digital camera. So I think really using the iPhone was even more an aesthetic thing than like trying to prove something with it. I wasn't even, of course you don't need a good camera to make good photos, like everybody knows that. I wasn't really trying to prove anything by it. It had an aesthetic benefit over digital and over 35mm for what I was trying to make at the time, and sometimes still am. Even though now that I've started with medium format not too long ago, it's kind of hard to go back to iPhone even, because I think it has a look that I was kind of looking for in the iPhone photos.
I literally shoot it like a film camera. I just take one shot, you know?
Yeah, I tried this a million times. Oh no. To get this off my mind. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I feel real low. Oh no.
The colors, I know it's the red in the tree bark contrasting the green.
Let's just find a place under the stars. No memory. Oh no. Yeah, I tried this a million times. Oh no. To get this off my
So I think that graphic design and photography, at least in the sense that in like my work, I think they have very similar principles it goes for all art. In terms of the aesthetic side of art, I think it all has extremely similar principles. You know, it's just composition, color, texture. So with this photo, this was in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Monument. And what I like about this is that it was candid, but still compositionally, it's so perfect. Like, it was just the right place at the right time, I guess, but it was still, you know, in street photography, a lot of the times you're like just rushing down the street and just like capturing things that you see just at an instant, you know? But with this, it wasn't like that, though it is still like street photography in a sense. It has like a really tonal color palette, I think, with just the two pops of blue. And then I thought they were in really good spots throughout the frame, with the two people being pretty much like right on the third, and then she's perfectly centered, and then how the bottom of the Washington Monument kind of hits right at the third too, which is nice. And then I think this lady has kind of a lot of character to like her personality here in the photo, which I also like. The thing that I like about this photo is I think it's really representative of like this time that we're living in. It kind of has like a real timestamp to it because of the phone, which this is a little bit crazy, but if you, this is how lucky I got with this photo. If you zoom in to the phone, there's an American flag perfectly placed within the reflection on the phone screen. Just saying.
a million times. Oh no.